and thank you for being with us. We are here to do a community update, truthfully a community celebration for something the community has done, something that does not surprise me because Columbus always steps up and stacks hands to do big things to celebrate the Columbus Promise. So it was just last November, after several years of planning and many conversations, that we circled the wagons with our partners to announce a promise. We promised our Columbus City School students, starting with the class of 2022, that if they graduate, they can go to Columbus State for degrees or job training, tuition free. It was a bold new idea for Columbus, but we believe in our students' potential. And we know that the future of our region's economic recovery and our future rest on our ability to help our young people develop their skills. We've said it before and we'll say it again. We believe that the future of America's city's economic development is people development, is talent development, and our kids are that talent. They are those people who will help us grow as a community. We set on this journey because we know that neighbors are working too hard and can't keep up with expenses. We know that meanwhile local companies can't fill jobs with good paying jobs. The connection is access to quality training and education. Good jobs in IT, construction trades, healthcare, and even culinary arts. They all require training beyond high school. I hear from kids when I visit Columbus City schools, they think that the college and training after high school isn't for them. They think it's too expensive and they will be burdened with student debt. Our young people deserve a chance to learn, earn, and start a career. And Columbus is stepping up with our partners to test the promise and give them a debt-free access and path to jobs, or to help them transfer to programs at other colleges like Ohio State, Central State, or Denison. The fundamentals are easy. We are making a promise that if students meet the basic criteria like graduating high school and completing the FAFSA, then money will not be a barrier to them getting a credential or a degree. We will even provide up to $1,000 a year toward unexpected expenses, a flat tire, or extra books that they may need, all with the goal of making sure that our young people succeed. The Columbus Promise gives students a clear reason to dream and discover their potential. Since that announcement in November, this collaborative program has been hard at work talking to our seniors, helping families fill out the forms, and because of their work, we are seeing real results. Just this week, we heard there's been an unprecedented increase in student applications to Columbus State, and a really exciting number, and I can't wait for you to hear, is how many folks in our school district have filled out the FAFSA. That's because of the Columbus Promise. It's because of all of our partners behind us stacking hands. I just want to again thank my partner, Dr. Dixon, my friend, Dr. Harrison, and Katina Fullen, Kenny McDonald, Mayor Ginther, who as soon as he heard about this program, said we're all in as a city. Our corporate partners, and most importantly, you'll get to hear from the students who will be participating in the first cohort of Columbus Promise. So next, I want to give up an invite to a huge believer in this effort who, like I said, when we had our first briefing about this 2 years ago, said this is what we need to do if we want to be competitive as a city. My friend and my partner, Mayor Ginther.
Good morning. What a great morning here in the city of Columbus. So grateful for President Hardin and his colleagues on City Council, our great partners, President Harrison and Columbus State, Dr. Dixon and Columbus City Schools, Katina, an incredible team at I Know I Can, Kenny McDonald, the Columbus Partnership, all of our corporate partners like Cardinal Health, Columbia Gas, Nationwide, and so many others. I'm so excited to be with you today to share this important community update about one of our Central Ohio's most important initiatives, especially as we think about equity and opportunity rising. The only way we can achieve our full potential as a city and as a community is if everyone shares in our collective success. That means investing in every individual who calls Columbus home, particularly our young people. particularly right now. I continue to argue that no one faced more challenges coming out of this pandemic than our young people, disproportionately negatively impacted. We need to continue to make restorative investments, and the Columbus Promise is a great way for us to lift up and invest in our young people. They deserve every opportunity to go on and do great things in their lives and their communities and continue to lead Central Ohio forward. We owe it to our children, our future leaders, to provide them with the skills and knowledge they need to succeed and to lay the groundwork for an inclusive and dynamic Columbus now in the years ahead. When you think about the prosperity agenda for this region, Columbus Promise is absolutely critical for that success. That's why we're working so hard to incorporate equity into everything we do. That's why we're pressing forward to implement Opportunity Rising, our community's playbook for optimizing our resources to tackle our greatest challenges. It's designed to empower residents in ways that enable them to grow and prosper equitably. And the Columbus Promise is the perfect example of Opportunity Rising in action. By expanding access to education and job training, we're also, by extension, expanding professional opportunities, earning potential, economic stability, health and well-being, and so much more. If we really want to address inequity in our community, building wealth is absolutely critical, and that's what the Columbus Promise is all about. I'm excited to see all the momentum and enthusiasm propelling the Columbus Promise forward. And I know that it will remain central to our efforts to building a more resilient, prosperous, and equitable city. Together, we will lift up the next generation as they embark on the next bright chapter in their lives. And now, I'm honored to introduce a great partner in all of this work, a true champion for Columbus's children, Superintendent Dr. Talisa Dixon.
Thank you, Mayor Ginther. I'm excited this morning to share some exciting news about the partnership and the impact that this Columbus Promise has had within our high schools and our community the past 6 months. I'm excited to tell you that to date, we have more than 700 seniors who are fully committed to the Columbus Promise. They're Columbus Promise ready. This means they have completed all 3 steps of the process: the Columbus Promise application, the free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA. They have submitted their application to Columbus State Community College. We have seen an increase in student interest not only in Columbus State, but in college going overall. In previous years, we've had an average between 300 and 400 Columbus City School students attend Columbus State after graduation. We expect that number to increase through the Columbus Promise program, especially considering the total of students who've completed the application process. But what is even more significant to share is the impact that this partnership has had on encouraging students to take action and consider their post-secondary options. In fact, FAFSA application submissions have increased nearly 50% since this time last year, with more than 1,200 FAFSA submitted to date. That is a remarkable number. So these numbers reflect the enthusiasm around this wonderful opportunity for our students. And I want to applaud our school counselors and the I Know I Can staff who have been instrumental in cultivating this excitement in our schools and preparing our students for this journey. They have worked tirelessly, dedicating hours upon hours, encouraging and assisting our students and families with the FAFSA and college applications, and providing counseling and guidance to ensure that our students are Columbus ready. It is through the power of one that we're able to create life-changing opportunities for our students and our families. The City of Columbus, Columbus State, I Know I Can, the Columbus Partnership, our school counselors and principals, the entire CCS community, all coming together as one to remove the barriers and provide equitable opportunities for all of our students. I thank each of you for your commitment to our students, and I look forward to seeing our scholars engage and grow on the campus of Columbus State. I will leave you today with this antidote that serves as an aha moment for me in realizing the power of the Columbus Partnership. During a recent taping of a podcast, I had the pleasure of speaking with some of our seniors about their college plans and how the Columbus Promise has helped pave the way for them to reach their dreams. We know the many challenges that our students face when considering college and how the Columbus Promise is opening new doors of opportunity. But hearing it from our students, those whose lives have been directly impacted, was truly impactful. When asked what would he tell his classmates when encouraging them to consider the Columbus Promise, one student put it perfectly. He said, "It doesn't cost anything to try." And that's exactly it. When we talk about equity and removing barriers for students in our community, the Columbus Promise is delivering. It gives our students the opportunity to try, and all that costs them is their effort and their dedication to achieving a brighter future. So together, as partners in this great city, we are creating new pathways to higher education and bringing our students' dreams to fruition. And that is how we are the power of one. So on behalf of Columbus City Schools and the Board of Education, thank you for this wonderful opportunity. And now I would like to introduce Katina Fullen, Executive Director of I Know I Can.
Good morning. About 6 months ago, we set a very aggressive goal to raise $9.5 million for phase one of the Columbus Promise. The City of Columbus, through Council President Hardin and Mayor Ginther, quickly stepped up with the first $4 million. And Columbus State followed behind with an additional $1 million, which meant we had a $4.5 million fundraising goal that we needed to accomplish with our private sector partners. That was what it was going to take for our students to get the full benefits of the Promise Initiative. We are so fortunate that we had some early investors, the AEP Foundation, the Columbus Foundation, Denison University, DLZ, Edwards Companies, and Installed Building Products. Not only did these companies make a financial commitment, but they also stepped up in big ways to advocate in helping to spread the word about the Promise Initiative. Fast forward over these last 6 months to today, and we are so blessed and excited to announce our newest investors in the Promise Initiative: Bath and Body Works, Cardinal Health, Columbia Gas and the NiSource Charitable Foundation, Huntington, IGS Energy, Mount Carmel, Nationwide Children's Hospital, Ohio Health, SafeLight, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, and the Wolf Foundation. These companies are now part of this partnership and effort to ensure our students achieve their college dreams. So as of this morning, we shared with all of our partners that our fundraising goal has been almost met, almost there. Of the $4.5 million that we needed to raise from the private sector. This morning, we were at $4.1 million. Yes, thank you. If you add the $5 million from the city and Columbus State, that takes us to $9.1 million. And we are excited to share that just this morning, as we let everyone know, we had a $400,000 gap that we needed to fill. We had an organization step up and contribute $200,000. And so we have $200,000 more that we need to raise over the next couple of months. And I'm pretty confident we'll get there. But let me remind all of you, and particularly our community, the hard work is just now beginning. Dr. Dixon shared the news about the number of applications, about our FAFSA numbers being at 45% over last year, and that's compared to nationally where we're seeing an 8.2 to an 8.9% decline in FAFSA completion. Let's remember this. Our students are sending us a message, and it is loud and clear. They're excited about the promise. They're ready for it. We know they certainly deserve it. And now it is up to each and every one of us here today who's listening, who's reading, who is going to meet these students on their campuses or in their businesses. You must now deliver on that promise. Thank you so much. Now let me ask Dr. Harrison from Columbus State to please join us.
Thank you, Katina. Really want to start with genuine gratitude for President Hardin and his vision, for Mayor Ginther and the city's incredible support and leadership. And it happened quickly because there was just alignment around the need to do this in this moment. Real shout out to Columbus City Schools and to I Know I Can. We're throwing a lot of numbers at you, but the number that really resonates with me is the 1,200 number that Dr. Dixon shared of the number of students that have completed the FAFSA. That happened because Columbus City Schools counselors and I Know I Can staff have been working very hard to work with students and families and help them understand the impact that that has. When you talk about a debt-free college experience, the starting point is filling out the federal financial aid form. And we see students every day who have taken on debt when they haven't accessed the federal money that they have waiting for them. So the ability to have those students and their families take that first step is a huge step to closing these gaps that we're working towards. So again, specific gratitude to Katina, Dr. Dixon, and their teams for making that happen. That's something that's repeatable, and it's something that's scalable. Yeah, round of applause, please, Mayor. Thank you. As Katina said, the work is just beginning, and at Columbus State, we've been focused on creating an experience for Promise students that's going to be unique and makes them understand that. I tell students all the time, I want you to walk in like you own the place, because you do. And in this particular case, it's going to be even more prominent. We have put together a great team of Promise advisors. I was telling a group earlier today, we have commencement next Friday. And when I talk to students at commencement and ask them what it was that got them here, they don't talk about programs, they don't talk about buildings, they give me names of people. So we want to make sure that our Promise students have a person who is working with them on their career plan, their academic plan, their financial plan, and is helping make sure that our systems align around the path to the student's success. We've got a team of academic coaches that we are putting together that's going to be there for academic tutoring, for assistance with report writing, with access to the internet, with other kinds of barriers that students may face. And we are making a substantial capital investment Thank you, Franklin County voters. In one of our buildings, a full floor that will be dedicated to Columbus Promise students, a place for them to go access their advisors, talk to academic coaches, bond with each other. The community that we want to create with Promise students is something that we think could be impactful, certainly at their experience at Columbus State, but even beyond. Want to thank the many private sector partners that Katina talked about that have stepped up financially. I also want to thank them for the way they are rethinking their HR practices with these kinds of students in mind. All of our students at Columbus State work. Many Columbus City Schools students work to create a pathway for students to start working as soon as possible in their chosen field, as opposed to just getting a job to pay the bills, is something that a lot of the companies that Katina mentioned have leaned into in a big way. So the ability for a student to have a paid internship, a co-op opportunity, an earn and learn opportunity in manufacturing and information technology, in healthcare and logistics. We've got programs at the college that already exist in those spaces. To connect Promise students to programs like that as soon as possible is something that's a community priority. And I want to thank the employer community for really leaning in, being creative, thinking differently in terms of how we can create a path for these students, not just to help them earn their degree, but to help them launch their career successfully. We have worked to design this experience with students at the center, and I am honored to bring the voice of one of our students to the podium. I want to introduce you to David Ananu Lawson, who's a senior at Fort Hays High School and will be coming to Columbus State to study computer science. David?
Hello, my name is David Ananu Lawson. I am a senior attending the prominent Fort Hays Metropolitan Education Center. Today, I stand before you to tell you how much of an impact being not just a future student at Columbus State Community College, but as an ambassador for the people of the community, the people who wish for an opportunity, the people of Columbus, the students of Columbus City Schools. I would like to ask you to close your eyes and imagine all sophomores throughout Columbus City Schools whose school year was abruptly interrupted by a pandemic that halted the day-to-day routine of learning in person to learning virtually, a pandemic who shook our world upside down, making us uncertain as to how our grades will pan out. Will I make it into the school of my choice? Will my ACT and GPA be enough to get me in? Fast forward to November, the day that silenced all of the looming questions from before, and the sun began to shine on the possibilities that Columbus Promise is able to provide. The Columbus Promise has given me and so many others an opportunity to attend a university where decisions aren't made solely on an ACT score or GPA. The Promise has allowed me to feel safe in knowing that I will receive a competitive education at no charge. The Promise has allowed me to know that the promise of investment in my future is bright and that we have support from the city and the district to make our dreams a reality. I applied to the Columbus Promise in order to take advantage of what the city has put together for students who aren't generally financially eligible to attend a four-year college, or in some cases, any college. The Columbus Promise has promised me that I will be debt-free. My family doesn't have to rally together to find funds for me to attend school. My future is secured and it costs me nothing to apply. I plan to study computer science with a concentration in programming. Based on Columbus State's hands-on approach, I believe I will have the skills needed to impact the community by distributing technology to groups of people who are in poverty-endorsed lifestyle and don't generally have access to everything we use on a regular basis. It is my pleasure to be a recipient of such an amazing opportunity, an amazing promise. It is my promise to uphold the model of being Fort Hays while attending Columbus State by being focused, organized, resourceful, teachable, hardworking, attentive, giving a 2-year-long commitment of engaged service to not only myself, but to the city, the district, and those who have dedicated their time and resources. Thank you.
Tough act to follow, David. His phone keeps ringing. I think it might be one of our companies actually calling one of these. Thanks, guys. This is a really proud day. The folks behind me, and really dozens, maybe even hundreds of more, that have leaned into this idea should be super happy about the journey ahead, but should also be thankful for everything that's been accomplished. David, your representation today is really important. I want to thank Dr. Harrison for making sure that the students' voice is up here, because as much work as our corporate community can do, and our government and our nonprofit groups, it does take families and students stepping forward and doing the hard work, and we're willing to meet them more than halfway, and we need to continue to do that. This is a city, a region, and a world really of unbounding opportunity. And this is a pathway to providing not just the first 700, but all of their families a new pathway to change lives across this community. And I know they're going to touch people far beyond the city of Columbus as they move forward after they accomplish this. Our region leads with talent. It is the number one thing that we tell our existing businesses and new businesses looking at our region, that we have bright eyes, and we have ambitious people, and we have young people who can accomplish anything, and we prove it every day with the work that's accomplished across our region. But we've got to clear the pathway, and we have to do things differently. What got us to this point, all the good things and all the inequities that it's created at the same time, this is a way to address that and do things differently going forward. So I want to commend, in particular, the Columbus Partnership is who I represent. 81 of my bosses across our corporate and institutional leaders get the honor of working with every day. I want to thank them for stepping in and answering the call. President Hardin, thank you very much for your persistent leadership, along with Dr. Harrison, the entire City Council, and Mayor. You leaning into this means really everything. Makes it really easy to form partnerships when we get to do it every day across a lot of issues, including this most important one. At this time, I want to bring just 4 of our company leaders to speak. And let me introduce them all at once, and then invite Angela to the podium. From Nationwide Insurance, Angela Bretz. From IGS Energy, Scott White. From Cardinal Health, Jerome Revish. From Columbia Gas, Stephanie Markle. Thank you. Angela.
Good morning. Good morning. Nationwide is honored to support the Columbus Promise and the emerging workforce that this program will create, because we know that companies and communities thrive when we work together and have a diverse, talented workforce. It is our hope that many of the Columbus Promise students participate in Nationwide's Earn to Learn program, where they can earn wages while gaining invaluable on-the-job training, with access to many career opportunities and Nationwide executives. And with that, I'd like to thank everyone for making this day possible, and I believe the best is yet to come. Scott?
Good morning, my name's Scott White. I came here today, well, first of all, when I first heard about the Columbus Promise, I really loved the idea. And I came here today to learn a little bit more about the details of how it was going to work. And I got to say, I'm even more excited about the program, hearing about the commitment that the city of Columbus is making, the city schools are making, and Dr. Harrison with Columbus State. And I view myself as an investor in the program, and I'm positive we're going to get a great return. The city of Columbus, the whole community that I've lived in all my life has done very well over the years. We are considered one of the most successful communities from an economic development standpoint, thanks to Kenny and his efforts, but we've overlooked parts of our community, and we're starting to create some inequities, and the Columbus Promise is a way to kind of close the gap on that. So our role as a company and the other corporates on stage here, we need to be a landing spot for these students. We need to make a home for them, and we need to rethink the way that we go about our hiring practices. Typically, we think of 4-year degrees as on the job postings that we have over for the history of our company, and we're going to rethink that. We're going to have a skills-based mindset. I want people like David, who wants to invest in himself and have a better career opportunity. I want to make that possible. So I'm very excited and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Good morning. I stand here today with an enormity of pride, humility, and just excitement. Because I think about the personal strings that this pulls on for me. A few years ago, I was just like David, just a few years ago. Not to laugh that hard, but a few years ago, like David, I was a freshman at Fort Hays with no idea what the future would hold for me. And I had the privilege and honor of having folks open the door for me to create pathways for my career. But I also realized that not everyone had that same privilege as me. And so they could not necessarily walk into the same rooms that I had the opportunity to. One of those rooms took me into working for a great company called Cardinal Health. And the connection that I felt with Cardinal Health is one of our core values is all about equity and inclusion. Mayor Ginther talked about equity and the importance of that. And we believe what the importance there is to level the playing field, to give other folks the opportunity to walk through those same doors that may not be available to them, so that they can turn a hope into a dream and a dream into a goal. And then the next door that Cardinal allowed me to walk into was to partner with Dr. Harrison and the amazing staff and faculty here at Columbus State as a member of the Board of Trustees. And so as you could imagine there's many emotions watching over me as I think about the opportunity today that started there in the halls of Fort Hays. And as I close, I'll give you this thought that another Ohio kid from city schools, he wasn't from Columbus, but he has a moniker that he talks about, strive for greatness. And he's had a lot of success on the athletic field and business rooms and opening up schools. But he reminds everyone every day that he's just a kid from Akron. So I just want to close and thank you all, folks on the stage, folks in the room, and the dozens outside the room that are working every day to help kids like David and me, who are just kids from Columbus, trying to open up new doors and walk into new paths to turn a hope into a dream into a goal, and a goal into reality. So with that, Stephanie.
So at Columbia Gas and the NiceHorse Charitable Foundation, we believe in creating sustainable growth for everyone in our community. And we do that through public, private, and nonprofit partnerships just like this one. This is what's capable when people come together. We're committed to using our individual and our collective strengths to create a future where all community members have opportunities, including our future generation of leaders. So a personal story like that, my dad taught and retired from Columbus State. I spent many, many days sleeping under a desk in Nestor Hall. And I know the impact of being on this campus and the connection that this campus has to our community. And I'm really passionate about it, and so are we at Columbia Gas. By way of this innovative collaboration, students will have more access, more skills, more opportunities to own their own futures. We're thrilled to play just a small part in the next generation of leaders, offering them the most in-demand careers right here in Central Ohio. It's the right time to do what's right, and the people in this room are doing what's right, and we're excited to be part of that amazing opportunity for our future. I'll bring back up City Council President.
Thank you so much. We will open up for questions, but before we do, I just want to hit on some numbers. As Dr. Harris said, we threw a lot of numbers out there, but I think some of these just have to be highlighted. Again, on average, from kids going from Columbus City Schools to Columbus State is around 300, between 300 to 400. Already we have over 750 completed applications to Columbus State from Columbus City Schools. I think that should be recognized. We talked about this, Dr. Katina Fullen talked about around the country especially, and this was one of the reasons we really came together as a community so quickly because of the pandemic. We've seen nationally a decrease of 8% of filling out the FAFSA, the free federal aid application that you need to go to college if you need support. An 8% decrease around the country, not in Columbus. In Columbus, we've seen a nearly 50% increase. That is out of this world. That is, I mean, I really can't put that into perspective of what that means. And as Katina also said, in 6 short months, we put a goal out there to raise $9.5 million. And as of today, we are at $9.3 million. We are so proud and excited of the partnerships that brought this together. And I think that needs to be recognized as well. So really, we'll open it up for all the partners to ask any question, answer any questions at the, we'll do one-on-ones. Just joking, we're doing one-on-ones. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you.
All right. All right. That was good.